And back to the action we go as Chandler Gilbert takes on Scottsdale Postgrad for the second of a doubleheader here. And Chandler Gilbert able to take the first one with a score of 7-4 as the first pitch of this game is fouled straight back. On the bump for Chandler Gilbert this game is sophomore Peters, and he bends one in for strike number 2 there. And quickly up 0-2. And gets the K. Working effectively and efficiently is Peters, already racking in his first K of the night. And just like that, we have one down in the top of the first. Up to bat now is Jacob Morris for Scottsdale Postgrad, number 23. Behind the dish for Chandler Gilbert is Keegan Roden. At first base, Dante Turgeon, as Peters delivers yet another strike. And that ball is driven to left field. Seth Morris tracking that in left field, and it looks like Jacob Morris will reach second base safely with a double to start Scottsdale off here. And Peters, one out, runner on second now, looking to minimize as number 35, Tyler Bailey, steps up to the dish. As Peters picks off at second. Morris safely returning. Peters dealing, and strike one. With a nice outside fastball there. As Peters wheels and deals, and that slider is swung at big time and also missed big time as Peters is ahead 0-2 here. One out, runner on second. Peters looking back, looking twice, leg lift and dealing. Beautiful slider on the outside part of the dish there. Not going to get the bite in, not going to get the call. Good work behind the dish from Keegan Roden, trying to bring that one back over. As the count is now 1-2. Peters leg lift deal, and fastball outside part of the plate. Freezes up Tyler Bailey, and Peters on the bump. Quickly rebounding from that double. 2 down now as number 34, Braden Schnabel, steps up to the dish for the Roadrunners. Peters with the 0-0. Snags the outside part of the plate. Beautiful first pitch strike there. As Peters is establishing himself early here with a beautiful 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And bends something nasty, but too much bend on that one as it bounces in front of Keegan Roden. Keegan always a wall behind the dish. Always commanding the game, very vocal player. As Peters deals, and that one is high and away. Joining me now is fellow redshirt freshman Andrew Feary. Andrew, say what's up, man.
Hello, Perry. Just working out some stuff with the cameras as well as lineups. But we are back Back in the broadcasting booth, man. I'm excited to be alongside you as Trey's pitching, man. And we've gotten to broadcast a game with Trey on the bump. It was really exciting, so I hope we get to do the same today.
Trayson dealing the 2-2 and gets the swing on the outside fastball. That one at a blistering 93 miles an hour. And Trayson Peters recovering from the double and making short work of the rest of Scottsdale post-grad as the Coyotes head into the bottom of the first. Game is all tied up, 0-0. Into the bottom of the first we go as the Roadrunners take the field. Behind the dish for them is Cal Heron. On the bump is LaFave. At first base, Jacob Morris. Second base, Logan Lawrence. Shortstop, Evan Stratton. Third base, Garrett Balatone. Out in left field, Gavin Ruskwilowski. Center field, Aiden Kuhlbeck. And in right field, Braden Schraber.
All right, to lead off the Coyotes is Joey, the gangster Gentile.
Joey G.
Let's see what he's got in store for us today. Whew, a big hack on the first pitch delivered from LaFave. Joey G is ready to get us going.
Big ol' healthy hack at that 91-mile-an-hour fastball from LaFave. And another healthy hack as
second one.
LaFave once again rings a 91.
Yeah, LaFave looks like he's throwing pretty healthy. Nice and
throwing
hard.
throwing some gas. Maybe a change of pace for the Chandler Gilbert offense as Joey Gentile is put away with that 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside part of the dish.
Joey knows exactly what he did wrong on that at-bat. As we see him walking off, he's helping out the next batter, J-Mo, telling him what was pitched. Joey was ready to swing, man. He was taking good swings up there. I don't see nothing wrong with that at-bat. You're the first person to see LaFave on the day. You're kind of testing out LaFave in a sense for your team. That way when you come back in, you can help him out so the offense can get going.
Yeah, LaFave bringing the heat here as J-Mo is brushed off the plate.
That one brushing J-Mo off. He's jumping out of the way. Looks like he's looking to hit. That one kind of...
Yeah, ran away from LaFave.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we got a little burst of wind, man. Look at that.
Yeah, a little breeze going here.
Arizona weather, man.
Unpredictable as always. As J-Mo watches that one bounce in front of the dish, 90 miles an hour on that fastball.
J-Mo's been proven successful thus far in this season. When he comes up to bat, he's looking to do a job, get the team fired up.
Always looking to help his guys out as he watches that Fastball on the outside of the dish. 90 again from Lefebvre.
Lefebvre pumping 9s.
Not sure that he's thrown any fastball below 90 at this start, as that one rings at 91, and Jamison Armstrong will take his base on balls. Coming up to the dish now is number 13, Dante Turgeon. And the Coyotes once again have a runner on and a big bat at the plate.
Dante's been doing very well at the beginning of games. You know, he likes to get things going. He likes to be the first one. He likes to get that first blood for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Dante's a spark, as Lefebvre throws one pretty high. Might have slipped out of his hand. Got away from him there. J-Mo's going to stay at first. Dante checking the play sheet, stepping in, and preparing for the 1-0 from Lefebvre, as Lefebvre picks back to first. J-Mo in safely.
Lefebvre just knows that he's got to keep the Yodi runners close because they'll run all over you.
Absolutely. This Yodi offense has been partially driven by the base running, as these boys' work from the fall is shining through. A lot of base running.
I think we work on it every day.
Every day. As J-Mo is once again backpicked and reaches safely.
J-Mo doing a job over there. Getting in Lefebvre's head.
Absolutely. As J-Mo takes off.
Testing the arm.
Throw is not in time, and J-Mo with another bag on the season.
Cal cannot gun down speedy J-Mo.
That's Cal Heron behind the dish.
So now J-Mo on second base in scoring position. This is a good position to be in for the Coyotes, considering Dante's at the plate and almost everything he hits is into the outfield.
As Dante takes a healthy 3-0 hack on that fastball. Ringing in at 89. Perhaps the hardest thrower that the Coyotes have faced all season. As Dante prepares for the 3-1, and that one is off the plate. As Dante is going to make his trot to first. In at bat now is number 16, hailing from Canada, bud, is Ryder Hancock. Ryder being one of our Canadian powerhouses, already with a blast this season. And I would go as far to say that his hitting might not be his... Oh, as that one gets away from the catcher, Cal Heron, and both runners will advance. But as I was saying, hitting might not be Ryder's deadliest weapon, as he is a plus base runner.
As well as an outfielder, man. He gets such great reads on baseballs.
Yeah, the kid can do it all, to put it simply. As he steps in, 1-0 count. 2 ducks on the pond, and the 1-0. Fastball away. 91.
That didn't miss by much. It looked like it handcuffed the catcher Cal there, because he could have gotten around that ball, maybe stolen a strike for his pitcher, but he was unable to.
As that fastball in at 90, just in on the plate, and Ryder Hancock finds himself in a 3-0 count. Ryder with a little shimmy before the 3-0. And he's going to watch that one.
Wasn't the pitch he was looking for. So now Lefebvre still has to come to him. Lefebvre is on the defense.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely a hitter's count here. And I'm sure Ryder knows that. The 3-1 on the way. And
outside,
that one,
Ryder's going to take his base.
That fastball into the other batter's box. As Coach Blake Rowlett will make his walk to the bump.
What do you think Blake's telling his hard-throwing right-hander here?
You know, from a pitcher's perspective, anytime that you load the bases with multiple walks, you have to start to look at the mental side of things, especially when, the physical side is covered. This kid can throw hard, and I'm sure he knows that. Perhaps overthinking a little bit as he finds himself in a bases-loaded situation with Seth Moore coming to the plate.
Oh, man, this is not a guy you want to face with this many runners on.
No,
What did
absolutely
he do
not.
again yesterday, Adam?
I think he lost one over that left field wall as he looks to do the same on the 0-0 pitch, and that 0-0 pitch is too far inside, ringing in at 90 yet again. Lefebvre bringing the gas today as the 1-0 is on the way. That ball popped into shallow center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And passing the torch is Seth Moore, picking up an RBI single as each runner advances one base.
That's a good piece of hitting by Seth. See, we were talking about his power, and that might mean we're expecting like a home run there, but no. He's just getting the job done. He's getting the Coyotes on the board.
Absolutely, and get the Coyotes on the board he did. Coyotes now leading 1-0 in this second game of doubleheader. And Ethan Hatch is drilled on a high inside fastball, which will be an RBI as Dante Turgeon stepping on home plate will extend the Yotes lead to 2.
See, we talked about Seth Moore doing a job. That there from Hatch,
Look at
that's
Hatch.
also doing a job.
Look at Hatch with that smile on his face.
Hatch is always smiling, man.
Yeah.
He's got to run across for the Yotes. He's excited.
Yeah, he's a happy guy. Great to be around, great for the team, great energy.
Another happy guy stepping into the box, Keegan Roden.
Keegan, the general of this team, as that pitch is swung at and missed. And Ryder Hancock in there safely. Lefebvre had the ball in time, but not able to put the tag down as the Yotes manufacture yet another run, bringing the lead to 3. And now Keegan Roden. Hold on. Quick pause in the action here as the Scottsdale head coach has a quarrel with the home plate umpire, and it's resolved quickly as Keegan steps in yet again.
Runner still in scoring position for Killer Keegs here.
Killer Keegs. 0-1 on the way. And Lefebvre yanks that fastball into the other batter's box. Once again, 91.
Yeah, a little bit of heat behind that fastball from Lefebvre today, but he hasn't been able to accurately throw it.
Yeah.
So it might cost him. One of the first appearances of the slider that we've seen today.
Yeah.
It is a good pitch. I'm surprised he hasn't thrown it more.
Yeah, perhaps saving that maybe for later innings, but having to break it out now as he's found himself in some deep trouble. As Keegan Roden smokes a ball to center field, and Ethan Hatch is going to hold up at third. Keegan Roden with some heads-up base running is going to try and take second, and he's out. He's thrown
out. Wow, it looked like Keegan was in there from where we're sitting.
Yeah, heads-up base running there by Keegan as he expresses his discontent to the field umpire and makes his trot back to the dugout as he's greeted by some happy Coyotes after getting a job done there and extending the Yote lead now 4-0. Amir McGee stepping in with a runner on third and swinging at that heater and not making any connection.
That was an exciting swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he just wants to add to the damage that's already been done. That ball missing low from Lefebvre. I wouldn't be surprised to see a slider here. We just saw it in the previous at-bat. It seemed to be a little more effective. Slightly more accurate as well.
Yeah. As Lefebvre once again yanking that fastball into the other batter's box. Finding himself in a bit of a situation here in the bottom of the first. Has allowed 4 already. And the pitch to Amir McGee is inside. The slider making, oh, apologies, that's the fastball. with some tail on it. Thought it was a slider for a second, but at 91.
Fave clearly
That's a heater.
frustrated up there with himself.
Yeah, 3-1 is the count now. And Amir McGee taking a healthy hack, 3-1.
Definitely trying to take advantage of the discontent that LaFave has right now. Amir looking to do some damage. Runner on third. Pitch underway.
Fouls that one straight back and extends the at-bat. As Amir McGee now with a full count and a runner on third looks to extend this Yotes rally.
Bottom of the first, and the Yotes have already scored 4. That ball missing. The rally continues. Amir McGee reaches first base on balls. That's going to bring up the freshman, Blake Tiggis, playing second base today. This is his first appearance this season. Tell me a little bit about Blake Tiggis, Adam.
Man, Blake is a ball of energy. I had a class with this kid last semester, and I had the pleasure of sharing the field with him plenty during the fall. And Blake is a fundamental baseball player, and he would run through a wall for this team. If you ask him to do something, he's going to get it done. And some sneaky pop on this guy as well.
Oh, yeah, we saw. I was actually in his hitting group this fall. This kid can hit.
Amir McGee takes off. Pump fake to second and thrown to third. Ethan Hatch recovers safely back to third. And Amir McGee standing atop second base now.
Swiping another bag this season is McGee.
Yeah, Amir.
Yeah.
Amir, a speed demon in his own right. As the pitch to Tiggs is
Drilled
flared up to left. And that's going to drop in no man's land for a nice RBI single. And Blake Tiggs records his first college hit and his first college RBI.
We love to see that from Tiggs.
Extends,
first ball he sees.
Extends the 2-out rally. Extends the 2-out rally. And the Yotes dugout is electric right now. 5-0 is the Coyote lead as Scottsdale Post-Grad is struggling to find a way out of this first inning.
You know, it looks like the top of the order has come up again, Adam.
Joey G, the gangster, Mr. Gangster himself at the dish as the Coyote dugout has been set aflame. Not too sure if the field mic is picking that up, but
I hear some howls coming from that dugout, Perry.
yeah, it might be a full moon.
You know, we actually did see one last night.
Yeah.
Maybe it returns tonight.
As that ball was crushed by Joey Gentile, but camping under it is the left fielder, Gavin. And finally, Scottsdale Post-Grad will worm their way out of this first as the Chandler Gilbert Coyotes draw first blood and start out with an impressive 5-0 lead as we head into the second. Now joining me in the broadcast booth is reliable Joe Pequeño. Joe, how you doing today, man?
Adam, good to see you. Always a good day to be out here. Chandler Gilbert and obviously the home team taking care of business, putting up a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the bottom of the first, knocking the ball around the field. And coming off that first game win, they're right back at it. A little shallow pop-up right to the second baseman and misjudged it and falls in for an infield single. And that's a play you got to make. But needs to say, you know, a good bottom of the first as now the Yotes go back on defense and they got a quality hurler on the mound ready to take aim at this Scottsdale Post-Grad lineup.
Yeah, Trey Peters, very solid top of the first, and that one stings a little bit as Blake Tigas perhaps misjudged that one, and Trey, unbothered, is right back in the zone for a strike. 0-1 is the count.
So no question, he's got to brush it off and go right back to work. Locks in. Slide it on the outside part of the plate, misses. Trey Peters, impressive in his start last week in the Twin Bill opener. Back on the hill, rocking and firing, throws the slide on the inside part of the plate, misses again. And they call the balk on Peters as the runner advances to second base. So needless to say, this is for Trey and the team a final warm-up before the squad jumps into conference play, league play next week, and of course, you know, it's good to get all the fall rust off as the games are really impactful starting next Friday against Phoenix College right here.
Yeah, as Trey blows a fastball high and by the hitter. Trey has looked phenomenal so far this start as he wheels and deals, and that ball is lined to left field. Making the play is left fielder Seth Moore, but that's going to fall for a single, and the runner is going to advance to third.
Seth Moore from Chandler High, injured most of his senior year, but no question when he is healthy, the young man can flat out rake.
Yeah.
And a bona fide solid outfielder as well. Will definitely provide some big knocks for the team this year.
Absolutely, and he's shown off his tools already with a nice bomb yesterday.
So Peters trying to work his way out of a first and third situation and checks off. And now he's going to go to work on the hitter at the dish.
And batting for Scottsdale Postgrad is number 5, Evan Stratton, and he will take his base as Peters loses his grip on that slider, nailing Stratton in the back. And Peters in some trouble here in the top of the second. Bases loaded. Up to bat is number 47, Logan Lawrence, the second baseman for the Roadrunners.
From Oregon, and Lawrence with an opportunity to do some damage here in the top of the second. Peters facing some adversity. First pitch to Lawrence, fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike one. And Trey's one of those guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, he just seems like he has that kind of personality where an inning like this, loading things up, really doesn't bother him because he believes in his stuff and knows he's got the ability to work his way out of a jam.
Absolutely, not a single drop of self-doubt in Trey as he wheels and deals that pitch and gets ahead in the count early. And slider there just too far off the plate for Peters. And 1-1 now the count as Peters looking to work his way out of this jam.
Peters winds and delivers, and that one is a called strike by the home plate umpire, and that's going to ring up Lawrence, and Lawrence thought he checked. Needs to say he didn't, so Peters gets a big out in this inning, and stepping up at the plate is number 44, and that is Cal Heron, uncommitted from Iowa. And Peters once again going to work and trying to wiggle his way out of this jam. First pitch to Heron, and this one is out of play on the right side. So overcast day here at Chandler Gilbert. Not too cold quite yet.
Yeah, don't speak too soon on that
I see Adam, I see Andrew. No heavy jackets.
No.
I don't see any heaters. And meanwhile, Andrew is throwing down one of man's best friends, the good old reliable Crustable from Costco. And those
hard to beat.
If the zombie apocalypse hits tomorrow, fellas, get me to Costco and give me a box of Crustables and life is good.
Absolutely. Not sure how long those would be on the shelves for, as those would definitely be a hot commodity. And Peters right back to work.
Busting that fastball on the outside part of the plate. So now he's ahead in the count against Cal Heron, looking to make some noise here in the top of the second. Peters bounces, winds and delivers. Fastball, and Heron going back to the bench. Good piece of pitching by Peters after loading him up. Has sat down the last two batters, and stepping into the dish is number 56, Aiden Colbeck out of Montana.
Yeah, showing some sophomore sturdiness is Peters as he loads up the bases and then goes back-to-back Ks, looking to make it a third here as the 0-0 is on the way. Swung at and missed is that outside slider, and Peters already back in the zone and ahead in the count, 0-1.
Busting that outside part of the plate. Trey looking at his catcher, getting the sign on the rubber, bounces as he does, fires, and comes right back with the bender, and no connection by Colbeck on that. Colbeck getting his second look at Peters. And now Peters with an opportunity to get out of this frame. Comes right back and blows the gas past him. And Trey Peters high-fiving his way to the dugout as that Coyotes bench comes out and supporting the tall, cool one with the long blonde locks. And after an inning and a half, Yotes coming up, ready to swing the sticks here on home turf.
After a quick break in the action caused by some more technical difficulties over here at Chandler Gilbert Sports Network, we return in the bottom of the second as Jamison Armstrong reached first base on balls. And now up to bat is Dante Turgeon. Turgeon fouling that one off as J-Mo tried to take off there. And Turgeon quickly behind in the count, 2 strikes as LaFave picks back to first. J-Mo reaching safely.
Colton LaFave now in his second inning of work after giving up a 5 spot in the first. Turgeon at the dish. Inside fastball misses, and sliding in safely is Jamison Armstrong. High leg kick by LaFave, and Armstrong got the quick jump, and he into second. And Turgeon with an opportunity here to pick up a duck on the pond here in the second inning. LaFave looking in, Turgeon at the dish. Slow curve, and Turgeon goes down swinging. Stepping in, Ryder Hancock, the charging Canadian, up at the dish.
Yeah, Ryder Hancock off to a great start this season, constantly producing for the Yotes, and another opportunity as he's got a runner on second.
LaFave looking the runner back, dials it in, and Ryder skies one right behind us. Who's going to make the catch? Who's going to make it?
Oh.
And needs to say, the gentleman who took off his hat didn't stick the hat out to make the catch. Instead, takes it off the body, and just like in Tommy Boy, that's going to leave a mark. Needs to say, Hancock at the dish with an opportunity to do some damage against LaFave. Post-Grad, slightly shading Ryder to pull to right center. The pitch, and this one is scorched. Going way back is the right fielder on right before the track, and the runner will tag up and go in safely, and Ryder gave that a ride. A slight breeze coming in from right field might have held it up just a bit, but no question Ryder did his job advancing the runner. So now stepping up to the dish is Seth Moore, and Seth, as we talked about, has got power to all fields, and has an opportunity to knock in a run here in the second inning. Armstrong at the dish with a couple outs.
Yeah, Seth with that power to all fields, and also showing some savvy with the bat, as his last at bat resulted in a single.
Moore takes a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and for Chandler Gilbert fans, Seth Moore went to Chandler High, injured most of last year. He came on strong at the end. When he's healthy, this young man can flat out rip the baseball.
Yeah.
He's got some poise at the plate. He's got power to all fields, and no question he's going to do some good things and provide some big-time contact in his Chandler Gilbert time. LaFave is working quickly with the runner at third, winds and delivers, and this one, big breaking ball, and that is launched to the right side, and the first baseman's coming in, and the catcher makes the play, and that was the first baseman's ball. Should have called him off it, needs to say. That will end the frame. No runs for the Coyotes as we go to the third, and the home team leading 5-0. So we go to the top of the third with Trey Peters wheeling and dealing, going into his third inning of work, facing the Scottsdale post-grad. Fastball tails outside for ball one. And stepping into the dish is the left-hander, looking at Trey Peters on a 1-0 count, and the pitch is fouled off. And at the dish is number 23, Jacob Morris out of Illinois, uncommitted, looking to find a home for his collegiate career. And Scottsdale post-grad offers young men that opportunity to potentially find a collegiate home, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
And Trey Peters comes back on the outside part of the plate and quickly goes to 2-2. Trey Peters showing good control, working the inner and outer parts of the plate. And that one misses inside and takes one off the body, and Peters puts one on here in the top of the third, and Peters has that look of disgust as Morris treks on down. And stepping into the dish is Taylor Bailey. Bailey looking to make some noise for the visiting team against Trey Peters.
And Tyler did make some noise last game, having an RBI single as he swings and misses at strike one. Trey Peters right back to work after nailing the previous batter. 0-1 is the count. Leg lift and deal. And another swing and miss on a nasty slider from Trey. And quickly brushing off the previous result and getting ahead 0-2.
Bailey at the dish, product of here in Arizona. Peters locked in. Bender on the outside part of the plate. And good block behind the plate is Keegan Roden, moving quickly, and still a 1-2 count on Bailey. So Adam, for Trey Peters, his last non-conference warm-up as his teammate. And if you're coaching this squad right now, what do you want to see from him in this outing?
I want to see exactly what he's shown so far. I mean, he's shown us everything so far. Dominant first inning, found himself in some trouble in the second, and worked out of it easily, posting 2 Ks and a third, actually. 3 Ks in a row for Peters. And another one as Tyler Bailey is retired for the first of the inning.
And stepping into the box is Braden Schnabel. So far, Peters has had good control.
Yeah.
Working his stuff in and out, and Scottsdale post-grad still looking to scratch a run across and make this a game. Of course, the home team won the first one as Peters just comes over the top and fires a missile for strike 1. Coach Watson had nothing but great things to say about Peters. Plenty of confidence, and breaks that bender on the outside part of the plate, and Schnabel fouls it off down the right field line, and it's quickly 0-2. (0-2) count on Schnabel. Peters winds, and this one blistered on the outside part of the plate for the second out of the inning. And now stepping in, number 36, Garrett Ballatin from California. So Trey Peters mowing through this Scottsdale post-grad lineup, making it look easy. Comes right back with the bender, and that bender is filthy for strike 1.
Yeah, once again, for the 3rd time in a row now, Peters, with the first pitch of the at-bat, goes up as 0-1 is the count. And looking the runner back, wheeling and dealing. That ball is fouled off straight back into the brush. That goes. And Peters, for the 3rd time in a row, finds himself ahead 0-2.
So, Adam, last night after the tough loss to Southwestern Oregon Community College, what was the mindset of the team coming into this twin bill today?
That ball was grounded to the third baseman, Joey Gentile, and the throw is made, which will end the inning. But Joe, the mentality was unwavering, and these Coyotes came out today, first game against Scottsdale Post-Grad, and absolutely put it on them, getting up ahead 7 early and fending them off, holding them to 4 for the win. And if you take a peek into that Coyote dugout, it's all smiles. And it was all smiles when they showed up to the field today as well. So that mentality is really what's helping them out here as we take a quick break and head into the bottom of the 3rd.
So we go to the bottom of the 3rd with Ethan Hatch stepping in. And fellas, we kind of touched on it heading to the break and coming off the loss last night. As ball players, what is the mentality? Is it safe to say you've got to have a short memory in this game?
Absolutely. Having a short memory is absolutely crucial for success in baseball at all positions, as Ethan Hatch takes a healthy hack on the 0-0 from LaFave. But having a short memory, I mean, you'll see it on display here from Ethan Hatch. Just took an absolute monster hack on the 0-0, and unwavered is his confidence as he takes another.
This one's sky down the right field line, and the first baseman makes a tremendous play. And that was just an incredible running play by the first baseman down the line. And give the credit as we scour through the roster. and that's Jacob Morris. And Morris hustled right down the line because the right fielder didn't even bother to move on the play.
Yeah.
So give Jacob Morris a lot of credit on the putout as the first pitch is fouled off straight back.
Keegan Roden up to bat now, number 5. And as we were talking about previously, we've seen it on the pitching mound too. Trey Peters today found himself in a rut in the second inning with the bases loaded, and as Keegan Roden takes a healthy hack on the 0-1, bringing himself to 0-2. But Trey Peters found himself in a bit of trouble, walking one, hitting a few, and he worked out of it with 3 straight strikeouts as he showed off that short-term memory, only focused about the next pitch. And Keegan Roden rung up on the outside slider, perhaps grabbed the outside edge, and Keegan gives a nod of approval to the umpire and makes his way back to the dugout.
And stepping in is Amir McGee. And let's give a big shout-out to Amir, his family out in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
So, you know, the city of brotherly love, we welcome you in as Amir takes a slider in the inside part of the plate. And Andrew, for you personally, you've been through a lot of baseball battles. For you personally, how easy is it to move on and try to forget about the last play and continue to focus on the next, whether defensive battle or the next plate appearance or the next game?
Well, you always have to kind of keep a short memory. It's hard to do so when you're in like the heat of the moment, but you know, your coaches repeatedly tell you at practice, have a short memory, think about the next play. And you know, I'm a catcher, I'm involved in every play in the game, so I have to constantly remind myself that you got to have a short memory. And it's weird that you have to remind yourself to have a short memory.
Right. Bit
counterintuitive. I definitely have to do that.
And Amir swings through that. And sometimes, fellas, it's safe to say it can be difficult because this game is a game of failure. And look, you get 3 hits in 10 at-bats and you're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And so sometimes you go up there and you want to get a hit so bad or you want to perform so well on the mound and it doesn't work out that way, and it can be frustrating. And you got to be able to temper those emotions for the next time out.
Yeah, being able to brush yourself off after a poor outing or a poor hitting day is quintessential if you want to be a successful baseball player, as Amir McGee swings at and whiffs the outside slider, which is the 3rd out of the inning, and Yotes lead 0-5 as we head into the top of the 4th.
So we go to the top of the 4th with Trey Peters wheeling and dealing on the mound. Stepping in is Gavin Rust. Rust with an opportunity, getting played straight away by the Coyotes and takes a first pitch bender. And no question, we've seen Trey work the inner, the outer, the fastball, and that bender's been on point today.
Yeah, in, out, up, and down. He has been able to place that pitch wherever he wants as he goes fastball away and draws the swing.
So it quickly goes to 0-2, and Peters with numerous opportunities here and comes back with a bender, and Rust has no answers, swings and misses for the first out of the inning, and stepping in is Evan Stratton with an opportunity to make some noise here.
Trey's most effective pitch of the day has got to be a slider thus far.
Yeah.
And Andrew, you've caught pitchers in a groove, and how great is it to be behind the plate when you've got a guy on the mound who's just in total control of his stuff?
Oh, it's a different type of feeling, Joe. It's more like you guys are both in sync. You know, it's like your heartbeats are going at the same pace or something, because the second he hops on the mound, you're getting down and you're calling your pitch, and he's just ready to throw it exactly where your glove is. Like the connection between catchers and pitchers, it's a very real connection for sure.
No question. Almost connected at the hip. A pitcher and catcher, they've got to be on the same wavelength to call a game. And right now, Peters has that with Roden behind the dish. Peters winds and delivers, comes back with a bender, and that bender is a beauty. And now the home plate umpire is coming out to talk to the coach of Scottsdale post-grad. And in this situation, look, you're down 5-0. Bottom line, what do you really have to say to the umpire? If you can't put the bat on the ball,
right,
there's really nothing more that can be said at this point.
Right, perhaps the offense is asleep right now for Scottsdale post-grad, but Coach Blake Rowlett trying to give his players any edge that they can get as he makes his way back to the dugout.
Peters comes right back with some heat for strike number 2. So Trey Peters attacking the batters out in the bender, has them off balance and doing a nice job in this 4th inning of work. Stratton with a couple strikeouts, a couple strikes ahead, and this is a bouncer to second base. Good hop, Teagues throws it over, and that's the easy 4-3 put out for the second out of the inning. And stepping in is Logan Lawrence. Lawrence with an opportunity in his second at bat against Trey Peters.
Trey getting a little bit of help from Blake Tiggis there, who's a freshman. This is his first game playing over at second base. Excited to see him there.
No question. Read that in between hop well, charged it backhand, and made the nice throw over. Sometimes you get an infielder, fellas, they'll wait for the in-between hop, which will eat them up, but Tigas saw the nice hop, moved up, got it, threw over to first for the put out. And Lawrence quickly 0-1. Peters working quickly, fires, and that's a fastball right by him for strike 2. So Trey Peters, 2 quick outs here. Now 0-2 on Lawrence. Peters comes out with that fastball on the outside part of the plate for ball 1. And next week, fellas, it's the real deal as Phoenix College comes to town to open the season.
Conference play. We're all excited. We've been waiting for it. That's pretty much all we talk about at practice is what big games are coming up and how excited we are for them.
Yeah, I had the chance to attend a few of those last year, and the environment, the atmosphere is just different at those conference games. And man, I'm just itching to call those.
And no question, because whether it be Phoenix College or Gateway or Paradise Valley, as that ball's fouled off, a lot of these teams and players, they face each other, whether it be the club circuit, a high school circuit, so they're very familiar. In some cases, they've played with one another on certain teams.
Yeah, that's what's also exciting is you see before the games, you'll see players go to each other's dugouts and just like kind of talk to the friends that they have on the other team. That's because we've played against each other so many times. You know, it's friendly competition, but you always want to win. You never want to lose to your friend.
Never. Peters misses on the outside part of the plate. Evens the count at 2-2. And no question, when you're a competitor, you don't want to lose at anything. It could be thumb wrestling. It could be anything. Rock, paper, scissors. Peters misses on the outside part of the plate and goes to 3-2. And no question, first league game next Friday, you want to set the tone and get off to a quick start. 3-2 pitch is fouled off, and Lawrence staying alive with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
I'm excited to see the other types of pitchers that we see come out of the Coyotes bullpen that we've been saving, using a couple consistent.
Tigas, nice backhand and the throw over. And some solid work by the youngin at second base. Little glove knee tender, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, none left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Coyotes up 5-0. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, and Blake Tigas put on a fielding clinic in the top half with a couple of nice backhands for putouts, and now he steps in against Colton Lefebvre, who Lefebvre, after a rough first, has settled down.
Yeah, Lefebvre finding his footing here on the rubber, as that 0-0 is a bender for a ball.
Yeah, Tigas steps into the box. He made a pair of good plays last inning for the Coyotes defense.
And he bounces this one, high chopper to third. Third baseman steps back, and that is pulled off the bag. And Tigas, got to give him the young man some credit. Another infield base knock. He's 2 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, I mean, that throw pulled the first baseman Morris off the bag, but looks like Tigas had that throw beat anyways. Showing off the wheels in his first college appearances, Tigas. And now stepping up to bat is Mr. Gangster himself, Joey G.
Top G Joey, baby. Let's see what he does. His first at bat of the game, he was taking hacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey Gentile at the plate, and Joey G once again has a Hollywood name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now Joey G looking for a Hollywood script right here with the 1-0 count. And lays one down, shoots it, and Lefebvre moves off the mound gingerly and gets to put out at first base for the first out in the inning. But no question, Joey Gentile showing his versatility with the sac bunt to move Tigas to second base.
Yeah, Joey G getting a job done there. Heading back to the dugout with a smile on his face as Jamison Armstrong is in at bat to replace him.
Armstrong stepping in, walked his last time up. Lefebvre looking the runner back. Roxanne delivers. Bender on the outside part of the plate for strike one.
J-Mo shows some of that unforeseen power from time to time, and I like to see him swing the bat here with a runner in scoring position.
Armstrong fouls this one off to the left side and quickly goes to 0-2. And Coach Watson's going to have some very interesting decisions to make as far as who's going to be the starting 9 when you face Phoenix College next week. This team has got power, it's got speed, it's got agility, and he's got a lot of options to choose from. It won't be any easy decisions for him. 0-2 pitch on J-Mo. Misses on the outside part of the plate. It goes to 1-2.
Yeah, we're through 6.5 almost games here, and I couldn't tell you the starting lineup, to be honest. I mean, still a lot of questions as all of the Coyotes have been making their mark and competing their butts off as that fastball is inside, and taking third safely is Blake Tiggs. Great heads-up base running there by him as that one squeaked away from the catcher, Cal Heron.
Tiggs having a good past couple innings. Showing off that hustle as well on the base pass, trying to manufacture a run.
No question, he's been solid. Good glove work, and now a little infield single and stealing third base, showing his versatility. And now an opportunity with Armstrong with a 2-strike count to bring him in, and Post-Grad brings the infield in. Lefebvre, and this one is stroked down the right field line, foul. So Tiggs getting an opportunity and his first collegiate start with a couple base knocks. A game he'll remember forever.
Absolutely.
And Lefebvre trying to stop the bleeding with Armstrong at the dish, 0-2, and that one is low.
It's a good job by the catcher, keeping that runner at third. The Coyotes have been unable to score since the first inning, so a run here would be a momentum shift.
Armstrong stays alive, puts a little bat on the ball. Count remains 2-2. And Adam, when you have a guy at the dish like Armstrong who's just pesky and he keeps fouling balls off, how infuriating is that for a pitcher?
Yeah, pesky is absolutely the word I would use, as Jamison Armstrong putting up a fantastic fight here. Lines that ball deep to right field. Tracking is the right fielder, Schrabel, apologies. And with the RBI, with the sac fly, is Jamison Armstrong as Blake Tiggs comes in to score, and the Coyotes extend the lead 6-0.
And that was a quality at bat by Jamison Armstrong. Just continued to foul off pitches, got a pitch he liked, stroked it out, just got under it just a tad. Needs to say Sack fly, RBI, quality AB. Stepping up, Dante Turgeon. Turgeon. Bender misses inside for ball 1.
Yeah, great battle by JMO that last at-bat there. Pesky was the right word to use, and Lefebvre being unable to put Jamison away ended up costing him a run, as Dante will take the 1-0 slider for a strike, bringing us to 1-1.
But give Lefebvre a lot of credit. After a rocky first inning, he was a little bit over the plate. The Coyotes took advantage of him not being able to control his arsenal, and needs to say he's locked it down, and now he's battled back. Couple scoreless innings, only 1 run allowed here since a rocky first. Bender on the inside part of the plate, and it goes to 1-2 on Turgeon.
Yeah, Lefebvre doubled up right there with that inside slider. First one didn't quite break over the plate, but that one did, as he deals and yanks a fastball into the left-handed batter's box.
So it goes to 2-2 as Lefebvre scoops up the rawhide and tosses it out. Goes back to the other side. Turgeon, Cade in the second inning with an opportunity. Lefebvre winds and delivers, and this one scorched through the left side, and Turgeon gets it done, and Turgeon looks at the Scottsdale post-grad bench on the way up, and there might be some words being exchanged by both squads.
Yeah, perhaps the Roadrunner dugout had a few words for Turgeon during the at-bat, and Turgeon with some sweet, sweet revenge right there, as he's able to trot to first base, starting the Yotes off with a potential 2-out rally here, as head coach Blake Rowlett makes a walk to the rubber.
So Rowlett right now trying to talk to Lefebvre and maybe see how he feels. Pitch count, he's probably thrown 60, 70 pitches, trying to feel where he is right now. And on the other side, Andrew, as the catcher goes back, you know, in this point, what have you seen Lefebvre as the pitch count gets up there and where he is in this start?
I see Lefebvre getting behind in counts, which means he has to become more of like a defensive pitcher, which allows the Yotes to take advantage. If he could get ahead, he'll be able to flash that slider that's been slightly more effective.
And Ryder shoots one to the left side. That's a 5-4-3 double play. And that is going to do it here for the bottom of the fourth. But the Coyotes get a run, and they tack it on and now lead 6-0. And both sides seem to be exchanging some pleasantries. And we'll have more from Chandler Gilbert coming up right here on the Chandler Gilbert Sports Network. So we go to the top of the fifth as Trey Peters working on a shutout outing, and Cal Heron steps into the dish, and a lot more noise coming from that Scottsdale post-grad dugout. No question, they don't want to leave here without any runs on the board.
Yeah, perhaps some frustration building over in that dugout, as they have been unable to really get the offense rolling at all in this twin bill. And Peters now behind 2-0 in the count. deals.
Peters
Swung at.
fastball right down the heart of the plate. 2-1. And Andrew, if you look at Roden and Peters, what kind of game have you seen them call so far?
So far, I've seen them try to jam hitters with the fastball inside and then use Trey's cutter as well as his slider and push that to the outer part of the plate to kind of throw him off balance.
So a combination of inside and out, and now, Adam, if you're in this situation, if you're Peters, got a 2-2 count. This lineup really hasn't done much. What are you expecting?
2-2 here for Peters. I'm expecting the slider, to be honest, as he wings it right by
Callahan
number
for the
50.
first out of the inning. And if I had a plane ticket right now for 2, I'm going to Vegas, and I'm going to let you just call a game for me, and I'm laying a lot of money down. Not that I'm condoning betting in any shape or form.
It's not betting when you know you're going to win.
So true, so true. Stepping in, Aiden Colbeck. Colbeck takes a strike to start the at-bat.
I mean, Peters just with a almost suffocating outing so far, not giving Scottsdale any breathing room, and in the blink of an eye, up 0-2, and looking to put him away.
Peters moving fast, not wasting any time. Outfield slightly shaded to right center, and this one scorched to left. On his giddy up, it's Seth Moore, perfect cut. Gets it in quickly and gives Seth Moore a lot of credit. Got to the ball, saved a possible double into a single. And once again, we talked about Seth Moore, big physical specimen. No question, he's dangerous at the plate. Right there showed his skill set in left field.
He showed it last game in right field as well. He's been kind of all over the map today.
Yeah, Seth with some surprising agility, given his big frame, as that ball was grounded hard to Tiggs over at second. Tiggs going with the 4-3 putout as the runner advances to second, and that'll be the second out of the inning. And now Trey Peters, runner on second, 2 outs, looking to deal to number 35, Tyler Bailey.
And fellas, when you see Tiggs and he's getting his start out there, he's producing, great glove work, and you know the character of the young man. How excited are you for him?
Man, I couldn't be more happy for Blake. I mean, that kid's a ball of sunshine, always smiling, always having a good time, and he works hard. He works hard, and to see the fruits of his labor in his first college appearance is definitely something to be happy about, as Peters deals the 1-0, and that one's going to be high, which brings us to 2-0.
Tigges is that freshman that's like really quiet, but you know, once you get him going, he's such a freaking electric person to be around. I love the fact that Tigges gets active, man.
Yeah, absolutely. As Keegan shows off the cannon down to second, J-Mo unable to make the pick, but Amir is there for the swift backup.
What's been very impressive about Tigges so far is that he's reading balls very well at second base.
Yeah.
He's reading hops, he's reading movements, he's taking good angles, and he was impressive with a couple backhanders a couple innings ago, and then that play ranging to his left on the putout. He's doing a nice job at second base.
Yeah, he plays the game well. Very fundamental player is Tiggs. As time is called, and that will be ruled a no pitch.
I think they're saying the 22nd violation was maybe.
So needless to say, he gets the call, and Coach Watson coming out to talk to Peters and Roden. And no question, I think for Coach Watson right now, just getting a temperature gauge to feel where his pitcher is. And safe to say, Adam and Andrew, look, there's a lot of arms on this Coyote staff that Coach can go to right now and feel comfortable about. So do you think Coach Watson just right now trying to feel out where the tall, cool one is right now on the mound?
Yeah, probably asking Trey how he's feeling up there. Trey has been, pretty clean this outing, allowing no runs, but you know, his pitch count might be getting up there. So perhaps Waddy is also giving the bullpen time to get moving around as Peters looks to work his way out of this situation. He's got 2 outs, runners on first and second, and Peters is no stranger to danger.
Been in a tough situation already before in this game, and I think this one a little less dangerous. So Peters should really be unfazed because he should just trust his stuff and really just go to work.
Schnabel at the dish, a couple runners on, 2 outs. And Peters misses with the bender on the outside part of the plate for ball 1. So this is actually, call it the first time this game that Trey's been facing a little adversity. 6-0 lead and comes right back with a bender. Beautiful, right over the heart of the plate. No question he's got the stuff. This is a little bit of a test of wills right now, just to find his groove and get out of the inning. Schnabel with a 1-1 count, couple runners on. TP working, coming right back. Nails that outer part of the plate for strike 2.
Yeah, he's thrown 3 of almost the exact same pitch now in a row. And I wouldn't be surprised if he either quadrupled up or went for the high fastball, trying to catch Schnabel asleep here as Keegan set up on the outside part of the dish.
1-2 count, and that misses on the outer part of the plate, and that evens it at 2-2. And look, if you're Scottsdale post-grad, here's a guy you faced now for 4+ innings. He's around the plate. You get a 2-2 count. If anything's close, you got to be swinging here.
Yeah, Schnabel should be absolutely ready to let the bat go. 2-2 is on the way, and Schnabel holds as that pitch is called a ball, perhaps a little too low and outside, which brings us to full.
3-2 count. The runners will be going. A shot and the gap will score a pair. TP looking the runner back. One more look. Winds, delivers, and misses in the outside part of the plate, and that loads him up. Stepping in, Garrett Bolton, who grounded out to third his last time up.
Peters taking some deep breaths up on the bump, looking into his dugout. Perhaps a mental reset for him here as he once again finds himself bases loaded with 2 outs.
Back-to-back walks. Post-grad with an opportunity here. Comes right back with the bender. TP not giving in and throwing the fastball over the heart of the plate. But at some point, look, when you're falling behind the count, you got to go back to number 1, the old reliable.
Right. And I'm sure that should make an appearance here, as it does. But just too low and inside is that fastball. Peters looking off into the distance, taking a deep breath, and looking to get back to work here, trying to work his way back into this count as he's down 2-0.
Wind up, and this is right down the heart of the plate. Bolton swings right through it, and it goes to 2-1. Outfield playing straight away. Middles in their respective areas. TP, 2-1 count, bouncing and delivering. Comes back with a bender, and that bender's a beaut.
Let's go, Trey. That was such a beautiful pitch.
So, Andrew, right now, if you're Rodin, what pitch you going to call up for TP right now?
It doesn't look like they're biting on the slider. They're not seeing it well. I think I'm going back to the slider.
2-2 count. Here it comes. They go right back to
There it
it.
is.
And he chalks him up. And Bolton goes down swinging, and that is going to end the top of the 5th. TP with some drama.
Oof.
And Scottsdale post-grad comes up empty.
And the coach,
Blake Rowlett,
Joe, it looks
the
like
head
we have an
coach.
ejection.
Blake Rowlett, the head coach of Scottsdale post-grad, has just been ejected. Unhappy with that call, perhaps asking him to check with the field umpire, and when the home umpire refused to double-check that call, Blake Rowlett perhaps let out some profanity, and
That was a quick ejection, Perry.
he will have to watch the rest of this game from the live stream.
And fellas, you have to wonder, and we've kind of seen it, that over the course of innings, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of chirping on that right side from Scottsdale post-grad, and maybe after a while the umpire said, you know, enough's enough. and he pulled the trigger. Pitching change, and we'll take a short time out here. So we go to the home half of the fifth. Pitching change for Scottsdale post-grad. Joel Lively, right-hander on the hill. Seth Moore at the dish and takes a first pitch strike. Seth Moore, last time up, flew out to the first baseman. Appreciate you dialing us up on the Chandler Gilbert Sports Network. Joe, Adam, and Andrew running the show. Second pitch from Lively, and that misses on the inside part of the plate. So we've seen some testiness. We saw some drama with Trey Peters working out of a bases loaded jam, and then the head coach of Scottsdale post-grad getting ousted. And now we go to the home half of the fifth, and Seth Moore takes a big-time bender for strike 2.
Yeah, perhaps some frustration was building up in that Scottsdale dugout, and last inning we saw it erupt as head coach Blake was ejected from the game.
Oh, what a block. That got into the face mask of the catcher. Definitely throwing his body all the way in front of that one with no runners on. Maybe slightly unnecessary.
I'm sure you know that feeling.
Yes, I do.
What's going through his head right now after taking one
I think
off
he just,
the chin?
Literally all he wants to do is just take a couple seconds, catch his breath, and then get back into the same, repetition.
No question. As a catcher, you go right back to work. 2-2 count. Lively brings it, and Moore shoots one into right center. Right fielder giving chase and comes up for the catch. And Moore flies out for the first out here in the bottom of the fifth. Stepping in is Ethan Hatch. Popped to third his last time up. Lively replaces Colton Lefebvre, and Lefebvre, after his struggles in the fifth, make that in the first with a 5-run first. Only allowed 1 run after that, so 4 innings, 6 runs allowed. And Hatch takes a big bender that misses on the inside part of the plate for ball 1. And Adam, I know it's early in Lively's outing here, but what are you seeing so far?
So far, the biggest thing that's standing out to me is that massive bender. It'll be interesting to see, as Hatch takes an inside fastball strike there. It'll be interesting to see how the Chandler Gilbert hitters adjust, and I know from personal experience that Ethan Hatch can sit on a curveball, so looking for it here as that fastball chops him up top, fouled off towards the Scottsdale dugout.
No question, Hatch had that look in his face like, didn't mean to do that, but needs to say, now I'm behind in the count. And now you got to figure, Andrew, you've seen a couple good benders here. If you're calling this one, you going back to it?
You know, being that they haven't hit it hard yet, I am.
And the 1-2 is the bender.
You definitely got to locate it, though. That's not the spot you want that.
No.
If that was elevated more over the plate, just like it was, Hatch could have recognized it early and put a tremendous swing on it.
Yeah, he's reaching some cactus out behind the fencing out there.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch from Lively. Ethan Hatch at the dish. Wind-up and delivery. And this one softly up the middle. Second baseman ranging. Throw over, and that's a great play by the second baseman. A lot of credit there to Logan Lawrence for the second out of the inning. Scottsdale post-grad showing some glove work, and Lawrence moving to his left, gloving and delivering for the second out. And stepping in now is Keegan Roden. Roden K'd his last time up. Keegan calling a good game behind the dish. Coyotes with a 6-0 lead. Put up a 5 spot in the first. Joel Lively in his first inning of work for Scottsdale post-grad.
Taking the first pitch is Keegan Roden, as that bender doesn't do enough. Stays high and away. Keegan now awaiting the 1-0. 2 outs on the way. Swung at big and missed. Keegan Roden flashing some wood there. 1-1 now, the count.
And Lively really hasn't seen much of his fastball, and now he's got a 1-1 count and goes right back to it and misses on the outside part of the plate. So Lively, young man from Colorado, and he's battle tested with the weather there. He's tall, can throw that fastball, can throw the bender, and here he is with a 1-2 count on Roden. Roden locked in and fouls this off to stay alive.
Keegan not going to go down easy. We saw this all fall. He does not like to strike out, and he doesn't really do it often. He's going to put the ball in play almost 80% of the time. Even though he has a strikeout today, he's looking to bounce back with a hit here.
Roden 1-2 count. Lays off the bender on the outside part of the plate. And no question, you know, sometimes averages, you can look great being a 300 hitter, but sometimes the tail of the tape is what you do with 2 strikes on you, especially with runners in scoring position. 2-2 count here from Lively. Winds and delivers, and this one is scorched to left field. Left fielder going back and makes the play, and another good quality glove play this time by the left fielder. And that will end the frame. No runs, no hits. We head to the 6th. Actually, we do head to the 6th, making sure. And it's Scottsdale post-grad down big against the Coyotes by the count of 6-0. And we go to the top of the 6th, and a pitching change for the Coyotes. Jimmy Buell on the mound. Gimme Buell, gimme fire, gimme that I desire. And stepping into the dish, I'm going to give it my best 150% effort.
Here we go.
Gavin Roswatowski.
Nailed it.
That sounded great.
We'll take it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like that one.
Yeah. Local scholars will give me an A for effort, maybe a C- on pronunciation. But needs to say, Jimmy B. Last time I saw Jimmy B was in the Twin Bill, and if you haven't seen Jimmy Buell pitch, he brings nothing but gas, and the bender is fast and furious. And Jimmy B starts it, and he plunks Gavin Roswitolski, and Roswitolski will take the stroll down to first base, and not the start Jimmy B was looking for to start this top of the 6th.
Yeah, Big Bad Buell perhaps not off to the greatest start here, as the first pitch of his outing is to the back of the head of Gavin. And looking to rectify here is Buell, the 0-0 on the way. Slider going to stay high, called for ball 1.
Evan Stratton stepping in from California. Stratton, last time out, bounced out 4-3. Takes a ball outside, second pitch from Jimmy B, and Buell comes right back with the heat high and hard on the letters, and that evens the count at 1 apiece. Appreciate you dialing us up, Joe, Adam, Andrew. We call us the Three Amigos. Glad you're with us on a beautiful Friday night at Chandler Gilbert, where Mother Nature is cooperating. Weather's quite comfortable.
For the time being.
For the time being. Slide on the inside part of the plate is taken inside for ball 2. No question, Adam, safe to say Jimmy B is going to be a big-time factor in that middle relief for the Coyotes.
Oh, no doubt. And Jimmy Buell off to a great start this season. He's a competitor. He's a bulldog on that mound. Jimmy B, the bulldog, deals.
Bulldog Buell.
2-1, and he's able to equalize now. 2-2 is the count as Jimmy Buell.
Buell providing the fuel. A 2-2 count. Stratton at the dish. Runner on. No outs. Buell. Roden setting up an outside bouncer. And that keep it set at 2-2. So for Coach Watson right now, Jimmy B's in. A relief appearance. What does Coach Watson want to see from Buell on the mound?
Coach Watson wants to see what he's seen the previous 5, and that's a big fat 0 for Scottsdale Postgrad on the scoreboard. And Jimmy Buell doing his best to deliver right now, as that slider outside will bring the count to full. And Jimmy Buell already in a pressure situation. 3-2, got to be a strike here. Starting off with runners on first and second is a terrible situation to be in, as Jimmy Buell deals. Fouled off, and staying alive is the shortstop.
On that pitch there, you saw the catcher Keegan looking to possibly back pick to first base, just trying to keep that runner from advancing into scoring position. That way, Jimmy has a better chance of preventing a run from scoring this inning.
3-2 count. Buell locked in on Roden. Runner in first. No outs here in the 6th. Fastball inside, and that misses. And Postgrad starts the inning. Hit batter. Roswitolski takes one off the back, and now it's Stratton. Walks. Runners at second and first, and stepping in is Logan Lawrence. Bounced out to second, his last time up.
Runners on first and second with no outs for Scottsdale Postgrad here. Perhaps coming to life in the top of the 6th, as Jimmy Buell facing some adversity early in his outing, and right back to business is Mr. Buell, delivering the 0-0 fastball for a strike. 0-1 is the count.
And he went back to the reliable, the fastball. And Adam, as Buell checks in, and we'll see this delivery right here, looks the runner back, and he comes back with the bender. And that sometimes, look, you got a favorite pitch in your arsenal, but sometimes if it's not working, you got to go back to the number 1, which is your fastball.
Right. Sometimes, you know, if my off speeds aren't working, I'll throw the fastball just to reset the mind and reset the body, and hopefully give yourself a better chance to throw the off speed effectively.
This one, bounce to left side.
Joey Gentile with the feed to Blake Tiggs and unable to convert the double play as the batter reaches first safely. Now Jimmy Buell, 1 out, runners first and third, and up to bat is number 44, Cal Heron, the post-grad catcher.
Heron with an opportunity. Runners at the corners, 1 out. After Lawrence on the fielder's choice. Jimmy B with the wind up. Fastball is high, taken for ball 1. Scottsdale post-grad. Not a lot of damage from the squad.
Yeah, and that can be largely attributed to the effectiveness of the Coyote pitching roster, as that ball is driven by Cal Heron into center field, and Amir McGee overrunning that ground ball as 2 runners will score, and Cal Heron will make his way to second base. So a fielding error there by Amir McGee, and it'll cost the Yotes a run as Scottsdale is able to shorten the Yote lead from 6 to 4, as Yotes still lead 6 to 2.
McGee with the 2 base error as 2 runs come in. And needs to say, Jimmy Buell's trying to lock it down as Aiden Coolback steps in, the center fielder. Coolback with the runner at second base. Jimmy B. And this one gets away from Roden, and the pinch runner will stroll down to third base. And right now, Jimmy B is just laboring a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a miscommunication as well on that pitch, as Keegan went to block, but that pitch stayed up. Jimmy Buell facing some adversity and maybe a bit flustered here as he looks to regain his footing against Aiden.
We don't call him Bulldog Buell for nothing. I'm sure he won't go down without a fight here.
Absolutely.
And Buell misses on the outside part of the plate.
At this point, all he needs to do is try to work the inner part of the plate. He's consistently missed on that outer half. So if he can work his way back in, he can let his movement on his pitches hopefully deceive the post-grad hitters.
Jimmy B locked into Roden, wind up and delivery. And that misses on the outer part of the plate.
You know, Jimmy Buell coming from that 3/4 arm slot is going to have some extra run on his fastball, so I agree with Fury here. Beating up the inside part of the plate would probably be his best bet, and 3-0 is the count as Jimmy Buell delivers.
And this one, Tigges moving to his right, and the nice play, another quality play by the second baseman. And that is the second out of the inning as Jacob Morris steps in. So 3 runs across from Scottsdale post-grad. And it started with a hit by pitch, a walk, a sacrifice, a base hit to center, 2 base error by Cal Heron with a base hit that Amir McGee misplaced for the 2 base error, and then Aiden Coolback, 4-3 knock, bounce out, brought in another run.
And up to bat now for the Roadrunners is first baseman Morris as he fouls that one off, and Jimmy Buell recovering here pretty well. 2 outs now, 2 strikes, looking for the put-away pitch.
And Jimmy B just wants to get out of this inning and reset. Not the inning he wanted. Came out, control was everywhere, and retires the side, but Scottsdale post-grad, they do some damage, putting up a 3 spot. We head to the bottom of the 6. Coyotes with a 6-3 lead. So we go to the bottom of the 6, and Amir McGee will lead off, and Joe Lively in his second inning of work for Scottsdale Post-Grad, and former Chandler High baseball coach Dave Martinez dialing into the telecast. And Coach Martinez, hope you're well. Hope to see you at the ballpark very soon. Paulo Hutchison here as well, and Paulo Hutchison is the ambassador of goodwill for the city of Chandler. Should have a part-time position with the city as McGee goes to work, struck out in the 3rd. Lively on the hill, wheeling, comes with a fastball, fouled off down the left field line for strike 1. So Lively with a good first inning, couple flyouts, 1 ground out, and Coyotes with a second look at the right-hander from Colorado. Amir McGee, family back in the East Coast in Philadelphia. 0-1 pitch, slow bender on the outside part of the plate, and that one bites for strike 2.
Looked like the pitcher got a lot of help there from the umpire.
Perhaps his catcher helped him out a little bit too. Some good framework from behind the dish as Amir waits the 0-2. Another bender, and Amir is ready to fight that one off as he's able to extend the at-bat.
So Lively with that breaking pitch on the second strike on the outside part of the plate, comes back with the bender on the inside part of the plate. 0-2 pitch on McGee. Amir swings and misses, and that will sit down McGee to start the home half of the 6th. And here comes Blake, and Blake has had a nice game. He's fielded his position oh so well, and he's got a couple base knocks in this one as well. A good debut from Blake right here in the home ballpark. Takes a strike from Lively to start the at-bat.
And, you know, Blake is having a great college first appearance here. But if you remember back to the first inning, I believe, or maybe the second, Blake actually made an error at second as that ball was grounded to the second baseman, fielded cleanly, and Blake is put away for the first of the inning. And, you know, back to what we were talking about earlier with the short-term memory, Blake completely brushed that off, that error in the field, and has put together quite the night, as he's definitely been a key factor to the Yotes' 6-3 lead.
And stepping into the dish is Joey Gentile, who sacrificed bunt his last time up. Joey G with an opportunity with no runners on here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and takes a fastball and fouls it straight back for strike 1.
Gangster Joey there with a monster hack. Love to see that 0-0. I mean, Joey's always ready to compete, and we saw it right there as he flashed some wood on that high
always going to
fastball.
take fruitful hacks, too. He wants to hit the ball as hard as he possibly can every swing.
And you got to love the fact that, look, he knows the situation. Squad is up 6-3. There's 2 outs. No one's really put the ball in play against Lively. Comes with a first pitch fastball, and he's going to jump on it. Lively has shown good control since he stepped in. And that fastball is blown right by Gentile, and the count quickly goes to 1-2. So safe to say, Andrew, as a hitter, when you know you're facing a right-hander or left-hander, he's got good control. You're going to have a small window of opportunity to find a pitch and put it back the other way.
Yeah, that really just means you have to focus up that much more.
And Gentile shoots one to center, and that is going to be fielded by the center fielder, and that is going to do the Coyotes in the bottom of the 6th. And Scottsdale Post-Grad all pumped up as we head to the 7th. Coyotes with a 6-3 lead. More from Chandler Gilbert right here on the Chandler Gilbert Sports Network. So we go to the top of the 7th, and Tyler Bailey about to take his hacks against Jimmy Buell. Buell ready to wheel and deal. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Last time up, Bailey walked and struck out his previous at bat. So Jimmy B struggled in that last inning, giving up a 3 spot, and now Roden and Buell talking some things over, trying to get on the same page, and Roden with some encouragement, trying to get his right-hander on track, and no question, Jimmy Buell wants to be on point with the season that truly counts starting next week. 1-0 count on Bailey. Fastball, and that blisters the plate for strike 1. Jimmy Buell can bring it. He's got gas, and when that bender's breaking, it's solid, but right now Jimmy's just trying to find himself on the mound. 1-1 pitch, and that's a bender that,
just
Bailey
mishandled by Keegan.
held up on.
Could have possibly stolen a strike in that situation.
And there's some activity in the Scottsdale post-grad bullpen. 2-1 count on Bailey. Jimmy Buell fires, and that hits the outside part of the plate. It goes 2-2.
Some great battle here by Jimmy, able to equalize.
Coyotes slightly shaded to right field. Jimmy B, 2-2 pitch. And that hits Bailey. And Bailey. And that is the second hit batter by Jimmy Buell in his second inning of work, and not the kind of start he wanted here for the top of the 7th.
No, not the start that Jimmy wanted at all. But Jimmy, no stranger to adversity, should be looking to get ahead early here and rectify that mistake, as he does just that.
Stepping in to the batter's box is Braden Schnabel with Bailey at first base. Jimmy B rocks and fires. Misses on the inside part of the plate. A lot of talk in that Scottsdale post-grad dugout. No question, this is safe to say their Super Bowl right here.
Yeah.
This is their Game 7 of the World Series. Fastball.
It would seem that way as Jimmy peppers the outside part of the plate yet again. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. And Jimmy looking to put Schnabel away here. The 1-2 is on the way.
That bender misses low, and that Scottsdale post-grad clubhouse is chirping.
Fired up.
With a vengeance as the count goes to 2-2. Buell looks to run her back at first base. Dialed in on Roden. Rocks and fires, and this one fouled off to the right side. Count remains at 2-2. So Jimmy with a rocky 6th, giving up 3 runs, starts the 7th. Just how he started the 6th, with a hit batter and trying to work his way out of damage with Schnabel in the second at bat, and misses on the outside part of the plate.
Seems like that dugout's almost getting to him here as he continues to miss in the same exact spot. An adjustment needs to be made with kind of where he starts each of his pitches.
3-2 pitch to Schnabel. This one, and this one's scorched to right center. Going back is the right fielder. Over his head, and Schnabel on his horse. Cut off. And Scottsdale post-grad, maybe with an opportunity going by the wayside, did not send the runner. And the visiting team making some noise here in the top of the 7th after the double to right center by Schnabel. And stepping into the box, number 36, Garrett Bolton. Bolton bounced out 5-3 and struck out.
Corners are in here, trying to prevent the run. As Jimmy throws a nice slider on the outside part of the plate and snags it. That'll be strike one. 0-1 is the count, and Jimmy Buell still looking for his footing here in this outing. Perhaps a little bit rocky of a start for him.
0-1 count. Comes right back and blows it right by Bolton for strike two. And I think right now, honestly, I think this is not so much what Scottsdale Post-Grad is doing. It's all between the ears right now for Jimmy B.
Absolutely. He has the stuff to beat these guys. It just seems like he's struggling to locate it so far tonight, as that ball is lined to Joey Gentile at third, looking at both bags, and that will be the first out of the inning for Jimmy Buell.
Joey Gentile read the soft liner, stepped to his left, snagged it for the first out of the inning. Runners remain at second and third. Stepping in once again, Gavin Roswitowski.
There we go.
And Roswitowski takes a ball outside. And right now for Jimmy B, got a 3-run lead. It's okay to pitch to contact sometimes and let your defense do it behind you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we don't want Jimmy, trying to do too much in this situation.
Bender, and that one misses, and it goes to 2-0. So Scottsdale Post-Grad lost the first game, trailed 6-0, made some noise with a 3-run six, trying to add to it here in the seventh as Jimmy B trying to find his footing here. Comes right back, fastball on the outside part of the plate, and give Roden some credit right there as well. Some good framing in that outer part of the plate.
Yeah, Roden earning his pitcher one there. Perhaps a bit of a makeup call from the umpire. Roden set up on the outside part of the plate, and Jimmy goes in, and a nice play made by the first baseman, Dante Turgeon, as he ends up on his chest.
Quickly getting 2 outs after running into trouble. Thankfully, no runs have come across yet this inning. Hopefully, Jimmy can retire this third batter, or this next hitter, to get the third out of the inning.
And Buell did a great job of jamming up the batter on that one as it comes right back with a bender in the outside corner to Evan Stratton. So Jimmy Buell, after putting 2 on with no out, retired the last 2 batters. Soft liner to third, soft liner to first. Comes back with a bender that doesn't connect, and the count is even at 1 apiece. And for a team like Scottsdale Post-Grad, Andrew and Adam, I mean, needs to say, if they could walk out of here with a victory, they got some local bragging rights over the home team, safe to say.
Yeah, absolutely. They would have some bragging rights, but Jimmy Buell turning the tide a little bit here, doing his absolute best to prevent that from happening, and quite successful as he's recorded 2 straight outs and buzzes him inside on that one. 3-1 is the count now. Jimmy Buell taking a look into left field, taking a deep breath, and right back on the mound.
So Buell behind in the count, has to try to save this, and he does with the bender right over the plate, and it goes to a full count.
3-2. This is a crucial situation for Jimmy Buell. Huge momentum shift here if he's able to record the strikeout. Pitch is on the way, and slider doesn't bend enough. That's going to be ball 4 inside, as number 5, Evan Stratton, will take his base on balls.
Stepping into the dish is Logan Lawrence with an opportunity with the bases stacked and packed. And a base knock at the gap, and all of a sudden, we've got a tie ball game. Jimmy B at the dish, trying to find it. It comes high and hard with the strike on the outside part of the plate. And a good way to
answer back,
as we have a pinch hitter, and that is number 17, Reed Herring.
Jimmy relying on that slider a lot, even though it has been the pitch that seems to repeatedly keep missing. You wonder if Keegan's calling it mainly because it has a chance of missing barrels.
And that is actually Logan Lawrence is at the plate, and Lawrence fouls this one off. So needs to say Jimmy B trying to fight his way out of this inning after loading him up after Rocky's 6th inning, allowing 3 on the board by Scottsdale Post-Grad. And the visiting Orange, loud and proud in that dugout. Lawrence, bases loaded, swings and misses, and that is gonna do it. Scottsdale Post-Grad makes some noise. No runs, no hits, 3 left on. We go to the home half of the 7th with the Coyotes up 6-3. Yeah. And we go to the bottom of the 7th with the Coyotes now facing new pitcher Logan Lawrence on the mound. Comes with a bender, and Jameson Armstrong takes that over the plate for strike 1.
Logan, a two-way, Joe.
Some two-way action on the bump.
No question.
We've seen him in the batter's box already this game, and now he's going to call his catcher up. Maybe a little confusion on the signs. And me and Perry have been there before. There's actually a video out there of me getting mad at Perry, who was my pitcher at the time. I'm wearing a GoPro on my head, and I was just frustrated because it was about this time. It was nighttime. It was a little hard for him to see the signs. We had switched it up, and we just had like a moment just like the pitcher there, Lance had with his catcher.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Andrew, you should know by now that Adam's going to do what he wants to do. Okay, because that's what those kids from Castile, that's what they do. They're just going to control their own game. They're going to call the pitches, and you're just there for the ride. It's your job, Andrew. Just put the glove out there and just call the game how Adam wants it, okay?
Joe, you have to be on the same page as your catcher.
Of course. Armstrong flies out lazily to left, and that's going to be the first out of the inning as Lawrence starts this one in fine fashion for Scottsdale Post-Grad, is stepping up as Dante Turgeon struck out, and singled in his last plate appearance. No, there's no question that the pitcher and catcher have got to be on the same wavelength to call a game. If they're not, it's going to be simply chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. And my apologies, Fury, for that.
Fine, I get the apology.
Is that on YouTube, by the way?
You know,
should be-
I have the video,
Yeah.
Joe.
I
I
wanna
want to
see
show
it.
it to you. We could figure a way to get it up somewhere.
Yeah, apologies. I changed the pitch in my head, just forgot to tell you.
It truly was.
Well,
hilarious.
so now here's the thing. As this one is smoked by Turgeon, and that's going to fall in for a base knock at Dante with this now a multi-hit game as he reaches with a one-out single, and stepping up is Ryder Hancock. So, Andrew, what was the signal and what did Adam throw? Because if you called for the changeup and he threw the fastball, I can see why you'd be very now. Look, now they're arguing about who's the one, right? You can't see it. But that's essentially what they're arguing about who called what on the play.
Good thing we don't have the.
Joe, this is how it went down. I called a fastball, and Perry thought it was a good idea to call a curveball, or to throw a curveball.
Yeah.
And it honestly, it truly scared me behind the dish.
Hey, could have been worse though. Could have been a you called curveball, I threw fastball situation.
Yeah, no, that's scary.
So yeah, once again, my apologies, Fury.
It's all good, Perry.
Okay,
I forgive
so
you.
needless to say, in that sequence, did you, as Hancock takes one off the leg and will stroll down to second base, so the home team with a runner at second and first as Seth Moore steps into the dish. Moore flew out to second, popped to right, now with an RBI opportunity. So in that sequence, Andrew and Adam, did you get the batter out? Did it end in a good way?
Yeah, so
it did.
the very next
Hype.
pitch actually was a ground ball up the middle, and we rolled 2 and got out of the inning. So
it worked out.
yeah, maybe it was all part of my plan, Fury.
Okay. So cooler heads
I find that
prevailed.
extremely hard to believe.
Cooler heads prevailed,
Right.
and the powers of Arizona and New Mexico came together to bring peace and harmony to the baseball universe.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that worked out well. Seth Moore takes a fastball inside. Moore, as we talked about, getting the start in left field, showing what he can do out there, and popped out. And now he's laying down the bunt as Lawrence fakes the throw to second base. Moore with a 1-0 count, and Moore looking into the dugout. Checking the wristband for the sign, making sure he's on the same page. Lawrence from the rubber. Winds, and Moore high chop it to the shortstop. And the throw over to first base just beats Seth Moore. And Moore, you can see the big fella was trucking down that line. And that is the second out of the inning. And stepping in is Ethan Hatch. Hatch popped to first and grounded out his last time up. Lawrence, the right-hander, slow delivery. Little bender in the outside part of the plate for ball 1. And right now they're giving Hatch that right side. If he can, little bingo that right side, surefire base hit. And Hatch skies one to the right side. First baseman giving chase. And makes the play. A great play by the first baseman. Give a lot of credit over there to Jacob Morris, and that is going to retire the side. 1 run, make that no runs, no 1 hit. And after 7, it's 6-3 Coyotes. We go to the top of the 8th. Jimmy B in his 3rd inning of work. Allowed 3 in the top of the 6th. And stepping into the dish is Cal Herron. Looking to start Scottsdale post-grad in the right way in this 8th inning. Scottsdale post-grad dugout, they are all kinds of excited. Jimmy B winds and delivers, and this one is scorched to center. Underneath it is Amir for the first out of the inning. So Jimmy B, 1 batter, 1 out, and stepping in is Aiden Colbeck. Colbeck singled and grounded out in the last couple plate appearances. And right off the bat, Adam, it's nice to see Jimmy B, 1 batter, 1 out, and start the inning in the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy Buell just missing there on that inside slider has established himself now this game. He's off to a rough start. First 2 innings were a bit shaky, but seems to be in control as of now, as the count is now 1-1.
Colbeck shoots 1 foul to the right side. Here we are in the top of the 8th. Last warm-up for, as this one's scorched in the hole. Great glove work and the throw over, and that is a beauty. Jamison Armstrong with the glove play of the night.
J Money, baby. That kid has got a glove on him.
Ranging to his left, throws over, and J-Mo stepping up big for the second out of the inning.
And you know, Jimmy's been having a little bit of trouble these past couple of innings, so something like that to start off the inning, that is great.
Huge pick-me-up there by J-Mo as Jimmy gets back to work and misses outside.
Stepping into the box is Jacob Morris. Kate, his last time up. Morris looking to get Scottsdale post-grad up and running here with 2 outs. Fastball on the outside, part of the plate, connects for strike 1. And no question, Armstrong with the play of the night, ranging to his left, picking up his pitcher who has had some trouble finding his location and getting that second out of the inning. 1-1 pitch, and Morris swings right through it. Looked like Jimmy took a little bit off, and he goes to 1-2.
And that's something you could definitely expect from J-Mo, because I see him out here all the time after practice, getting extra reps. He's a hard worker, and it definitely shows early on in this season.
1-2 pitch. It goes right back to Armstrong. Reads it perfectly and throws it over, and that is going to do it. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Home team up, 6-3. So a new pitcher on the mound for Scottsdale post-grad, big right-hander, and that is Evan Stratton, 6'4", $195 from California. He's ready to do his thing against this Coyotes lineup, and stepping into the dish is
Killer Keegs.
Killer Keegs, as the umpire gives us a look to stop the music, but once again, we have no control over that up here as Keegan watches that fastball go by.
Looks like we have a battle of the Cincos.
Battle of the fives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Roden takes it for the strike, and Stratton working quickly, and that fastball buzzes the outside part of the plate but misses. And Roden with an opportunity to get this inning going the right way for the Coyotes. Fastball is scorched to the left side, and the shortstop can't make the play, and that's a tale of 2 half innings we saw on the other end. Great play by JMO on the hard hit ball to short, and then on the other side, Evan Stratton on the mound and could not get the same kind of defensive support from his shortstop.
Yeah. Yeah, JMO is an absolute weapon. Any defense is more than grateful to have him, as stepping to the dish, number 18, Amir McGee.
Amir McGee struck out a couple times in this one, and good sacrifice bunt. That moves the runner up, and Amir does his job. And, you know, sometimes when the bat's not going well, do your part for the team, lay one down and execute it, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, team play right there from Amir McGee, as he's able to move the runner to second. And with a duck on the pond, Blake Tiggs up to bat.
Blake with a couple base knocks in this one, also bounced out to second base, and quality glove work as well. The middles for Chandler Gilbert tonight have been simply fantastic in this one. And Stratton misses on the high fastball to start Tiggs. Runner at second. Coyotes with a 6-3 lead, looking for more. Fastball misses low and outside.
Tiggs in a hitter's count already, 2-0.
We know the type of damage that Tiggs can produce.
As Stratton falls behind even further, 3-0 now, the count.
So Tiggs in a good hitter's count, can be very patient. No question, he might even be given the take signal here on a 3-0 count. It's got to be something in his zone as Stratton chases the runner back. Shortstop trying to keep Roden close.
If it wasn't for that count, man, Tiggs would have driven that ball. Oh, I hate, as a hitter, getting to a 3-0 count and knowing that you cannot swing at the next pitch.
Tiggs driving that ball pretty far down the first base line, gonna fall foul. And just like that, Stratton has worked his way back into this at-bat with the count being full.
So Tiggs looking for his 3rd hit of the night. Shortstop trying to keep Roden close. Here comes Stratton. Slow pitch and misses on the outside part of the plate, and Tiggs, quality AB. Good night for him. On base 3 times and stepping in, Joey Gentile. Joey with a sacrifice bunt and flew out to center his last 2 at-bats. And Joey G with an opportunity to jolt one somewhere in this ballpark and provide some more runs for the home team. Stratton laboring on the mound. Runners are going, and this one fouled off. Little hit and run, and Joey G fouls one off his body for strike 1. And you gotta love the aggressiveness by Coach Watson. Look, you're only up 6-3. Get the runners moving, and maybe Joey G finds a hole and a run scores.
Yeah, always trying to extend the lead is Coach John Watson, as Joey Gentile looks to do some damage. Whew.
Gentile swings right through that one, and it quickly goes to 0-2. On deck is the man praised for the quality glove work, and that is Jamison Armstrong with an opportunity to deliver at the dish.
And you can see the pen is getting moving for Chandler Gilbert as Stratton checks the runner at second.
Joey G, a couple quick strikes. Runners at second and first. Stratton misses on the outer part of the plate.
Joey's a dangerous hitter to have in this situation, especially if Stratton's struggling.
And Stratton tried to bust Joey Gentile off the inside part of the plate and misses, and it goes to 2-2. So Stratton here struggling with his control. So you figure if you're Joey, you're just looking for something right in your zone.
Yeah, Joey here, 1-2 the count. Looking for his pitch, absolutely, as he finds it there, blasts it through the right side gap, and rounding third is Devin DeVera, and he'll be gunned out at home. Unfortunately, as Joey Gentile reaches first base safely, and the Yotes have runners on first and second.
And give a lot of credit to Scottsdale post grad. Perfect throw from the right fielder, hit his cut, and then the cut home was a beauty, nailing the runner. So now we have runners at second and first. And stepping in with an opportunity is Jamison Armstrong. So the gamble right there by Coach Watson, setting the runner, and Scottsdale post grad stepping up to the situation with the perfect relays. And Stratton misses on the bender to start Armstrong. Good piece of hitting by Joey Gentile. Just worked it through that hole through the right side. He was giving it and found it and poked his way.
Just unable to come up with the RBI.
And Armstrong gets busted with a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it goes to 1-1.
Back to that Joey Gentile piece just now. That pitch was away, and Joey, with some great bat control, followed it, pushed it away, and got it through the hole. Unfortunately, Devin DeVera was gunned out at home, as that ball is grounded foul down the first base line. And J-Mo in a 1-2 situation here. Runners on first and second. Looking to add on to the 3-run lead of the Coyotes. Bottom of the 8th here. Crucial situation. And the pitch.
And that one sails to the backstop, and the runners will go up 90 feet. And Stratton says, look, that one was on me. And rightfully so, and that's going to even the count at 2-2. So J-Mo hearing it from the clubhouse, getting the support with a couple runners on, and they're playing Armstrong straight away. 2-2 count. Stratton delivers. This one scorched to center. 1 run is in. The runner from third being waved in. And he's going to beat the throw.
Yeah,
and Jamison Armstrong delivers with 2 outs. And the Coyotes now go up 8-3.
And gangster Joey Gentile with a sweet slide at home, perhaps a little swim move action, and is able to evade the tag from the catcher.
J-Money has shown it with the glove as well as the bat there, knocking in a couple RBIs, bringing up Dante.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, of course. Absolutely. That's a perfect way to put it when he gets in the box. I'm sure Stratton said the same exact thing under his breath.
Yeah.
Dante Turgeon steps in. Now an 8-3 Coyotes lead, and Stratton misses high with the bender.
Seriously, Stratton, do not do that again.
And just a nice piece of hitting by Jamison Armstrong, fighting off some pitches.
Yeah.
And taking the ball right up the middle, and Stratton throws over. Turgeon struck out, singled, and got on in the 7th. Shoots one down the left field line. Good response by the Coyotes. Last run was in the 4th as they picked up a run, 5 in the 1st, and now 2 here in the 8th to pad the lead. And, of course, the Coyotes working that bullpen on the left side. We'll have a new pitcher.
JMO takes off, and wow, what a jump by Jamison Armstrong as a called strike on Dante Turgeon there.
And it goes to 1-2. Armstrong walks into second base as post-grad essentially fell asleep. Stratton lost side of the base runner. 1-2 pitch. Fastball inside, misses, and it goes to 2-2.
I wish we had a total tally on how many bases that have already been stolen this year by the Coyotes. It's a grip.
No question, double digits for sure. Stratton delivers on the 2-2 pitch. It's fouled off right behind us. And we'll do it all over again for Dante. Looking for his own 2-out magic.
Yeah.
With Armstrong at second base. So Chandler Gilbert starting the season. And Armstrong takes off, and this ball is scorched to left. The left fielder going back, can't make the play. And Turgeon coming up big with the 2-out double. And the lead is now 9-3.
Absolutely mashed by Turgeon there. And, man, once again showcasing that power, freezing the left fielder as whenever the ball leaves his bat, it just has that much more carry. And that'll be an RBI double for Mr. Turgeon as the Coyote dugout is once again fired and rowdy.
Turgeon at second base, and stepping in, Ryder Hancock. Sacrifice, bounced to second, got hit by a pitch.
And some quick
3-run 8th for the home team. Fastball on the outside part of the plate by Stratton.
And some quick clarification. We actually do know how many stolen bases we have this season, and
let's hear
it's a staggering 33 through just 6 games, almost 7, as that ball is grounded to first base and the play is made, which will lead us into the top of the 9th. Coyotes lead 8-3 after posting 3 earned runs that inning.
And we go to the top of the 9th. And we have a new pitcher on the mound, and Andrew Fury, do the duties.
All right, the top of the hill for the 9th is closer, Big Bad Banky. Jace Banky, he's a freshman, pitcher from Horizon High School, and he's looking to make his mark on this team. He had a good last outing, and here he is facing Scottsdale post-grad.
So Big Bad Banky on the hill. First pitch fires, and that's a wicked fastball.
Firm, Joe.
Yeah, Banky looked sharp tonight. Looked good in his warm-ups and flaunting the fastball early as it's blown by the helpless hitter.
Banky comes right back and gets the second strike as he's working quickly and in at the dish is the right-handed batter, now falls behind 0-2. Benke going to work quickly. 0-2 count. Here it is. Outside part of the plate and gets him swinging. Going back to the dugout. Aiden Kolbeck stepping up to the box is Braden Schnabel. Benke on the hill after the strikeout. Misses low for ball one. Schnabel struck out, walked, and hit a double. Benke going to work quickly. 1-0 count. That busts the outside part of the plate, and he goes to 1-1.
Jace is a competitor. He wants to win every pitch. You can tell by the way he wants to get right back on the bump almost immediately.
1-1 pitch. And that's a bender that is beautiful, and it quickly goes to 1-2.
Yeah, Jace throwing with that almost cross-body style makes that slider all the more devastating as he's able to whip it all the way around his torso.
The 6'1" freshman from Horizon High School in Scottsdale. He is a Husky. Played his high school ball at Horizon. 2-2 count on Schnabel. Benke fires, and that is going to do Schnabel. And quickly, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Last stand opportunity. Stepping in is Garrett Bolton. Bounced to third, struck out, and grounded out. Benke looking to shut the door on post-grad, and Divers fires a bender that misses low for ball one.
Missed low and not by much. Benke coming into this game pounding the zone so far.
Fastball missing high, and Adam, give us a scouting report of what Jace Benke brings to the circle.
He's got the fastball up in the low 9s, which plays beautifully off of that wipeout slider. And that slider might make an appearance here as he goes with the fastball instead. Freezing number 36. And 1-2 count. Apologies, not a 1-2 count.
That busted in the outside part of the plate, and it quickly goes to 2-2.
Jace with an opportunity to collect yet another K tonight and close out this ball game.
Jace Benke. And Benke does it in fine form, and that is going to do it. And Benke looking at that Scottsdale post-grad clubhouse as he fires down Bolton. He does it in fine form. 3 strikeouts to close out the 9th, and the Coyotes get the sweep of Scottsdale post-grad. And the Coyotes have started this season in fine form, getting the doubleheader sweep tonight. And as we reflect on this one, 5 in the first, 1 in the 4th, 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and it all started, fellas, with Trey Peters being dominant on the mound.
Yeah, absolutely. Trey Peters set the tone for the Coyotes tonight, and his offense was there to back him up. After Trey started with a phenomenal 1-2-3 first inning, his offense exploded, posting a massive crooked 5, and never able to close the gap were the Scottsdale Roadrunners, as the Chandler Gilbert Coyotes improve to 6-1 on the season. And our next game Let me check that.
Next game's going to be next Friday. That's what's going to open up conference play.
Right here against Phoenix College. And so, fellas, through 6 games, 5-1, and even the game that was lost against Southwest Oregon Community College was a very winnable game. So through 6 games, assess what you see from Coach Watson and your teammates.
I see Coyote baseball. I see everything that these boys have worked for in the fall coming to fruition. I mean, and down to a T as well. They had one slip away last night, but quickly turning it around today and picking up the doubleheader against Scottsdale Post-Grad. The Yotes are back on track, and heading into conference play, these boys are looking sharp.
So that being said, fellas, so now it all gets serious now, and what's the intensity going to be like as you head toward the season that truly matters when you start league play next Friday?
It seems like we've already dived headfirst into this season. You know, we've got back-to-back days where we're playing doubleheaders, but we're going to see stuff like that in conference play even. So starting up next week, we're just going to want extreme focus from everyone in that dugout, top to bottom, and we're going to come out, play with intensity, just like we have. We've been running the bases hard. We've been hitting the ball just like we know we have this whole time, and our pitching has just truly been dominant, just like we expected coming into this season.
And you kind of talk about the starting pitching. Of course, Trey Peters has been dominant. Daniel Hutchison with a good start last night. Yubichuk has been phenomenal as well. So talk about the starting rotation, which Coach Watson talked about in the beginning of the season when I had a chance to talk to him about the team and the outlook of the season, and he said the strength would be the starting rotation. Thoughts about what you've seen so far?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that we knew since the first day of fall. I mean, we have arms over here at the Chandler Gilbert pitching staff, and they're all competitors. Not only do they throw gas, as we have many guys that are super high 8s and a lot of guys low 9s as well. You know, these guys can pitch and these guys can compete. We've seen it a lot. You know, pitchers able to work out of tough situations. Both pitchers tonight, Jimmy Buell and Trey Peters, you know, found themselves maybe in a bit of trouble, but kept their sturdiness about them, showed the mental fortitude, and were able to pull out the victory here tonight.
That's some of that poise that we've seen from multiple sophomores on defense as well as offense, and it's not even just pitching. Like, we've seen some players make some mental mistakes but then come right back and then hit a double the next inning. So it's really all about bouncing back from mistakes and just showing that you're in this game all the way until the end.
And what I've seen from this team, and in just my short observations, is that I think you have a really nice general behind the plate in Eric Anderson, a young man who can really control. We've seen your middles are rock solid. You've got some good glove work over there between Armstrong, Tiggs, and some of the other players we've seen. In center, you've got some athletes that can roam the outfield as well. So Coach Watson's going to have no question, he's going to have some difficult decisions to make and who cracks the starting 9. But I think however it plays out, it's only going to make this team better because competition is going to fuel this team. And it has to, because as you head toward league play and there's so many good junior college teams you're about to face, and they're going to bring it. And no question, as you start that Friday game, it's all about getting off to a quick start and starting with momentum, and it starts right here on home turf.
Absolutely, Joe. Pleasure broadcasting with you tonight, and thank you to those joining us around the globe here at the Chandler Gilbert Sports Network.
Yeah, we have fans all the way from Canada. We have fans all the way in Mexico, New Mexico, and we're just happy to be here with all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
And it's safe to say the Perry family is still in Mexico, right?
Still in Mexico.
Viva la Mexico, and that is about the very bit of Spanish I can speak, and I apologize for all my fellow Latin brothers out there. I am Hispanic, but yo puedo hablar español un poco, puedo muy despacio, no rápido, because if you start talking Univision, you're going to lose me. So that's about all I can do. So obviously you're looking at that Chandler Gilbert sidelines, very excited after picking up the victory here tonight. The Twin Bills sweep as the team gets ready for league play, and that's next Friday right here against Phoenix College. We'll have the live pregame. Joe, Adam, and Andrew, and maybe we'll be even live on the field for the pregame as well, courtesy of Paulo Hutchison and the extended pregame coverage right here from Chandler Gilbert. We appreciate you dialing us up on a Friday night. For the three of us, please take care, have a great weekend, and once again, a good night for the home team with the doubleheader sweep over
baby!
Scottsdale post-grad. Take care. We'll see you real soon.